Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my review of Molly's Game. Aaron Sorkin is one of the most esteemed film script writers in recent memory. So it's pretty big news when he decided to put on a second hat and not only write the film Molly's Game, but also direct. So how did his directorial debut turn out? Pretty darn good. So let's go ahead and talk the positives. But we're going to jump to front of the camera talent to start these positives because Jessica Chastain is fantastic, as she always is. She has quickly become one of my favorite actresses in Hollywood working today, and it's from consistent delivery. I think that her performance last year in Miss Sloane was highly overlooked, and here she's equally as good. And of course, this character plays right into her wheelhouse of playing a tough, forward, strong female character. But the beauty lies in her nuance. It lies in her subtlety. It lies in injecting that softness, that femininity. Her greatness lies in creating fully realized, well-rounded, complex characters. Reading between the lines of what the script just simply lays out and finding humanity in it all. And I think she does it beautifully well in this film. Idris Elba is also fantastic here, as he always is. I think his performance is a little bit more showy, but he just brings such warmth, such charisma, and I think he gave a great performance. We have Kevin Costner here, who is also very strong. Chris O'Dowd and Michael Cera have very small roles here. I would say that the acting is a positive across the board, but obviously our two stars in Chastain and Alba are the highlights, for me, of this entire film. And then we move to Sorkin, and he became famous as a screenwriter, and he delivers on that front tenfold. I think this script was really, really stellar. And that's a good thing too, because this film heavily relies on that script. So it's really a positive that this script held up and was really strong. And then when it comes to Aaron Sorkin's directing, it's a bit more of a mixed bag for me. Overall, it's definitely a solid, if not strong, debut for a director. But the film ends up being so exposition heavy that you can tell that his first nature is within the script and creating an interesting, compelling script, that he literally spends the majority of the film telling us what happened. And for a good portion of the film, you're like, wait though, who's Jessica Chastain actually talking to? Why is she narrating this? Why is she telling us, the audience, these stories? That is answered, thankfully, but it comes across very exposition heavy through the majority of it. And that's not to really say that's a huge negative, because that exposition is so well written that it's still entertaining. And that exposition plays into the fact that this movie actually is juggling 3 separate timelines all at once. And I think it does it very well. But I think some of the artistic choices were a little bit obvious. I think they were very we're just going to flash cool things up on the screen for reference, and we're going to get this shot to make it look a little artsy. But I would say all the risk was taken in the framework of the story, which again I think comes more down to his script writing than his actual directing. But wow, what a story this is. Molly's Game tells a completely enthralling and fascinating story, a true story that is insane to watch unfold and is told beautifully. So thankfully, he had such a great starting point that we're destined to be entertained with what is put to the screen, if it's at least told competently. But that is going to kind of segue us into the other negative of the film, and it's that it is one-sided. This is taken from Molly Bloom's book and derived from that material, and we only really get Molly Bloom's perspective here. So we're told about the tabloids painting this picture of her. We see and hear slight murmurs from the men in Molly's life. But we don't get the perspective of the people around her. We don't get that media perspective of this woman who was involved in a huge scandal that tied in like Russian mafia and gambling and underground gambling, illegal activities. So it would have been nice to at least get a little bit more of a textured, broad stroke of the case. As it is, it's told purely through Molly's lens, so she comes off as a pure protagonist, when I think we could have had a little bit more conflict. And especially in the way the film is formatted, we cover such a wide range of time that it feels a little bit like this all happened so easily. I could just pick up and start this big high stakes game, you know? And it's because we had to like move through all of these different life points to get to that final case drama that we're getting to, that we don't really see the struggle, we don't really see her like shifting and moving all that much. We get a hint of it, but then, you know, when she relocates, it's like, oh, okay. And again, it all comes with Molly telling us what's happening. It all comes with her narrating this story, that we get the one-sidedness that I just mentioned, but that we are just told, I shifted and I moved and I met this person and I handed them the napkin, instead of us actually kind of getting to see these awesome details. But overall, I think Molly's Game is a really strong debut for Aaron Sorkin to put his name on as a director. This is an enthralling subject and such a compelling story that you're gripped from start to finish, even if it's mostly told through exposition via voiceover. But when the voiceover is so well done, both from Sorkin's writing and Chastain's delivery, and you get these magnetic performances from both Chastain and Alba, it makes for a very entertaining watch. So from a film quality standpoint, I do think that this deserves a full price ticket. It is definitely strong enough, and it is definitely interesting enough to go see in the theater. However, if the trailers haven't quite sold you, I still think you should check it out because you might be pleasantly surprised, but it's probably a matinee. So, that has been my review of Molly's Game. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below, and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on our latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. Are you excited to see Molly's Game? And what is your favorite Sorkin film? Let me know either in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!